Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. Hello, welcome to Open Roads and Theatre Seats. Welcome if you are new, welcome back if you've been here before. I hope you are all well. At the time of me publishing this video, so Sunday about 7ish, I probably won't be because I'll be on my way back from seeing the penultimate Lion Witch in the Wardrobe show. Unfortunately, I was not able to see the last show just because of its finishing time and train strikes and me having work the next day. Very rude. But I kind of felt like I had to go and see one of the last shows, and yeah, I will probably be on, as this video goes live, I'll probably be crying my way back up to the Midlands after saying goodbye to Aslan for the last time. Sad tear. But Lion Witch in the Wardrobe isn't the only show to close this weekend. The glorious Come From Away, the amazing Mary Poppins is also closing. There is, I think I read 16 shows in the West End closing over the next couple of weeks, which is mad. But saying that, it does mean that there is some new theatre on the horizon for 2023, and that means but one thing, and that thing is this: an ultimate musical theatre watching bucket list 2023. A couple of people on one of my recent videos requested that I did some kind of what I am excited to see in 2023 show wise video. I have done it previously on my old channel, and to make a slightly difference I decided to make it a bit of a bucket list. So what we have is this. That's right, I'm old school and I write everything down on paper, but the bonus of this is that I get to tick it off every time that I see a show. We have the tour side and we have the London side. Now, some of them have more reason behind me wanting to see than others, and there is quite a lot on my list. For one more flash, there we are. So some of them we're going to get into a bit more than others. Others I'm just going to say the name of the show, and yeah, let's get into it. So we're going to start off with the tour side. Now, tour side is mainly anything that is coming to the Wolverhampton Grand, the Birmingham Hippodrome, the Birmingham Alex, sprinkled in with a bit of regional from the Birmingham Rep, and I think that's about it. I do also wish to go further afield, so if dates maybe clash for some of these tour shows, I might try and find it somewhere else. Plus I also need to do a bit more research into what else is coming up in the UK, but there's a lot of theatre and there's only so much of me. So let's get into it. So at first we have got The Way Old Friends Do, which is at the Rep. I don't know a lot about it. It is one of the premieres the Rep are having this year, and all I know is that it has some kind of reference to ABBA, and that's my lot. But just, I like going to see new things that the Rep do. We had What's New Pussycat a few years back, and oh, that was chef's kiss amazing. So I have a big plans and big dreams for The Way Old Friends Do, and yes, that is why it's on the list. We have Strictly Ballroom, which is still touring. I have heard some great things about the show. I have heard some really not great things, so I want to watch it for myself and make my own opinions. We have got Jersey Boys. I have mentioned in the past, I've always thought that Jersey Boys wasn't my thing. I've always thought nah, not for me, we're gonna go watch something else. And I did mention it in a recent video that I want to push my boundaries this year. I want to go and see shows that maybe I thought weren't for me, and they may be really good shows. So that's why Jersey Boys is on the list. It is touring this year, and I thought touring may be better, but I'm not adverse to going and seeing it on the West End if there was a good ticket price, you know? So yeah, Jersey Boys is on there. The Bodyguard, I've never seen it, I've never seen the film. There are many of those situations, but yeah, Bodyguard is on there. Sister Act, I have been aware that it was in Birmingham not so recently and I missed it. However, it is coming to Wolverhampton, so I will be going to watch that there. SpongeBob the Musical, I don't know a lot. I'm aware it was made for Nickelodeon once upon a time. Didn't watch that. Haven't watched any bootlegs. I won't be surprised when I sit in my seat. The Greatest Days, which is the Take That musical, which I think has a similar vibe / story to the musical a few years back called oh my goodness, The Band. There we go. I love Take That. Everybody loves Take That. You make it into a musical, I'm gonna be there. Simple as. We've got a play by the name of Ocean at the End of the Lane. I was like, the way that came out, I was very much like, you know, there's a play called this. Everyone knows that. But it is on tour and it is on my list to watch. On the other side of that coin, we have a musical by the name of Annie. A bit different to the Ocean at the End of the Lane, isn't there? Yeah, it's definitely on my list to see. Plus, one of the people playing Miss Hannigan in various different places is Craig Revel Horwood, and I recently saw him in Panto. He was excellent, and I kind of want to see him do Miss Hannigan. And I know how that came out, and we're just going to go by it by saying the next one that I want to see is My Fair Lady. I missed it when it was in London. I was told recently whilst at a musical theatre concert that I should watch more classics by the lady next to me, and I agree. There are many classic shows I've never seen, and I plan to watch as many as I can this year if they are out and about. Also on the list is the Winnie the Pooh musical. Again, don't know a lot about it, but I have said for years that Eeyore is my spirit animal, and I want to go and watch the show and agree. On the animal front, we also have The Lion King. I last saw The Lion King on a UK tour back in 2011. I was 21 years old and it was my birthday treat. I am now much older than that, so I need to go and watch it again because the old grey brain cells aren't what they were. I need to see it again and probably cry, let's be honest. Continuing on with the list, I'm aware I could have probably found a better way of doing this video. We have got The Girl from the North Country. I have had it in my head for a very long time. I want to see this show, and every time that it exists in the world I miss out on it, and it's still to come on tour in Birmingham, so that's where I shall be going to see it. We have got The King and I. The King and I. Again, just like with My Fair Lady, it's an old classic and I probably should have already seen it by now, but I haven't, so this is the year. Speaking of shows that I haven't seen yet and I probably should have, Rocky Horror Picture Show. I have a friend who has seen it. I think he's on 70 times now. I have not seen it once. I have seen the film, but it did take me until third year of university to do that, so I'm a bit behind. And the caveat with me going to see this show is I will need to see it with him. Mark, if you're watching, we need to go. So there we go. We have got The Drifter's Girl, which, if you know from previous videos, it was on my list of top shows in 2022. It was an amazing show, saw it once, very excited to see who they're going to cast as each of the drifters, and Faye Treadwell. So yeah, the moment it comes anywhere near me on tour, I think it's actually going to Leicester first. I feel like it's going to Leicester first. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I will be going to see it. 42nd Street also on my tour list, because who doesn't love tap dancing? Who does not love tap dancing? If that person is you, we can no longer be friends. We can, but I would look at you as slightly odd. Also on the list, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Why not? Yeah, it's doing a bit of touring. It has been in Sheffield for a while over the Christmas break, and now it is on a tour and I need to go and watch it. Titanic the musical, also on the list, basically because I don't know a lot about it, but obviously we all know a bit about the story matter. If nothing else, I'm flying! I'm assuming that's not in the musical. We shall see. Last two on the list for tour are Life of Pi. I'm aware it's been in London for a very long time, and fun story, I actually had a ticket for the Life of Pi in the West End, and I didn't know I did until the day of, when two of my friends sent me a message saying, hey, what time are you getting into London? And I was sat in my pyjamas here in the Midlands going, wait, what? Only me. Yes, Life of Pi is definitely on my list, and I really would like to go and see it with my friend Emmy, because we said the whole time it was in London we were going to go and watch it together. Did not. We need to make matters better. Finally on the tour list is Pride and Prejudice, sort of. Again, kind of missed it whilst it was on in the West End, mainly because I was still on the edge about going back to theatres at that point. Plus I was also mourning the loss of Amelie at that point in time, and it didn't feel quite right to go back into the Criterion that soon. So yeah, we missed out whilst it was in London, so we shall see it on tour. Thank you very much. So as you can see, quite a long tour list, and normally that'd be an okay amount of shows, but oh no, this is the ultimate theatre list. So we've got some West End ones too. I have got tea now, so let's have a quick sip and we'll get into the London ones. Now this London list has been made by using either Todaytix, who help me out so often with various things, and also the Stadia Rebecca West End theatre list. She is a gorgeous human being. Go and check her out. Everyone on social media, I believe she is just Stadia Rebecca, and her and her friend, also called Becky, have a mostly weekly Instagram live, which is a joy to watch. But she also has created this Google spreadsheet in which she has got all the West End theatres listed with what show is currently on, if it's closing, when it closes, what else is on in that theatre. That made no sense. I will leave a link to it because it's very useful. But using that and using my noggin and using Todaytix, here we go. We have Tina, the Tina Tournament musical, mainly because my friend Emmy has just been. She said it's amazing. We've been saying for years that we need to go and watch it, and we haven't yet, so this is the year. We've got My Sons Are Queer, But What Can You Do? Was one of my favourites from 2022. We all saw my brain work then. It was one of my favourites in 2022, and it is going into the Ambassadors Theatre for another slightly longer run, and therefore we need to go and see it again. We all need to cry collectively in a room for a second time. It's just the rules. We also have Operation Mincemeat, a show that I've heard so much about but not a lot about, if that makes sense. Like, I've heard all the buzz, but I've not heard anything about what the actual show is all about. So I'd be going in fully blind, but I kind of feel like it's my duty to go and watch it. It's one of those shows. Speaking of those kind of shows, the next on my list is Bonnie and Clyde. I had no knowledge of the show when it did its stage concert, and then it went into the arts, and I kind of didn't know enough about it, so I was just like, okay, that run's happened, and now it is having its next run, and I kind of feel like it's my duty again to go and watch the show. It's one that I may not know a lot about, and I might cry a lot because there's probably gunshots in it, and we all know how I feel about loud noises, but we have to go through it and enjoy theatre for what it is. And yeah, there we go. Next up on the list we have got the transfer of Crazy for You, which is going into the Gillian Lynn. I feel like by the time that comes round I will be okay to go back into that theatre. Again, it's not one I know a lot about, and again, it's kind of an old classic. Can we put that into that bracket? Let me know. But yes, it's definitely in the list, especially if they bring back Charlie Stemp. Just saying. Next on the list is the Bake Off musical. Again, a show I've heard quite a lot about without not knowing too much about it. It's going into the Noel Coward. I say Noel Coward or Garrick. I know it's a theatre I spent quite a lot of money in over the years. Sure, it's Noel Coward. Please tell me down below if I'm incorrect. But yes, don't know too much about it, but I'm very excited for it because I am an avid Bake Off watcher. Try saying that quickly. Moulin Rouge. I said it in a recent video. It's one of those shows that's been around for a bit, but I've missed out on it for various reasons. I feel like this year is the year to go and watch it. Alongside that we have Cabaret, same reason, keep missing it. There is other tickets there that I want to watch instead that have a shorter life, like that one. So it's kind of been on the back burner, but this is the year. Speaking of shows closing sooner rather than later, we have & Juliet. I saw it pre-pandemic, which just shows how long ago I watched it. It is closing in March, and I kind of feel like it's my duty to go watch it one more time for the love of theatre. Plus it is a really good show. It's one that I feel gets slept on a lot by the people not in the fandom. It's kind of just like, yeah, it's in the Shaftesbury, it's got a beautiful pink thing, but there's nothing behind it. It's really, really good. I actually quite enjoyed it when I saw it, so I have to go back one more time. It's the rules. When a show announces it's closing, you have to go and watch it one more time. It just has to be done. Carrying on with the list, we have got Ain't Too Proud, which is a new musical, and it's going into the Prince Edward after Mary Poppins. I don't know too much about it, but I feel like it's one that I will absolutely love, so that is why it's on the list. We are also on the list, we have got the Bridge Theatre production of Guys and Dolls. If you haven't yet heard about the cast for that show, go and Google it and then get yourself and me a ticket, because whoever cast that show is just genius. We also have Wizard of Oz on the list. I know I'm a bad Midlands theatre watcher because I haven't seen it in its home at the Leicester Curve, and I won't get a chance for it. It does close there, so I will have to go and watch it at the Palladium this summer. I have heard some really good things from my Leicester friends about it, and I will have to go and watch it myself when the time comes. We also have got Groundhog Day and Sylvia, two shows that are soon to come to the Old Vic. And hang on, are they both Old Vic? I feel like they are. Correct me if I'm wrong. But 2 shows that I don't know a lot about, but there is a lot of buzz surrounding them, so again I feel like I have to be there. We have 3 that are relatively standard London shows, which I just feel I should go and watch again because I haven't seen for a very long time, that being Matilda, Les Mis and Wicked. Haven't seen any of those for a few years now, and I kind of feel like I should go back and revisit, especially as currently in Matilda is Lauren Byrne as Miss Honey, and I just really want to see her try that role. We have Newsies, which is on my list and has been since they announced it was going into its home at the Troubadour, right? My only thought surrounding that show is that I don't know how to get to that side of London and I might get lost and I need some help. But I shall be going, just you wait. Then we have one that I didn't actually think of until I started scrolling, and it's one my parents have actually seen but I haven't, and I kind of think I'd like to go and watch it even though it may not be my thing. But again, this year it's all about trying to push myself and go and see things that I may not have thought about seeing previously. So we have got Witness for the Prosecution, which is in its, I was gonna say purpose built, but it's not purpose built, but its location is like the most genius place to put the kind of show it is on. I'll explain if I ever go and see it, but just go and look it up because it's the way its premise is, I just think it's genius. And as I'm making no sense, let's move on, because our last one on the list is one that I have mentioned previously that I kind of feel I should go and see after slagging it off for so many years, and that is Only Fools and Horses. Yep, this year is the year that I go and see that show. I have nothing against the TV show, apart from I kind of don't find it too funny anymore. I just feel like it's been on too much on the telly. However, the musical has been around for a while, it's not going anywhere, and I kind of feel like I should go and see why. It's one of those shows, and I think this is the year. It's the year to push myself, it's the year to get out of my little bubble, and it's the year that I go and see Only Fools and Horses. Okay, so there we are, a very, very long list and quite a long video, and that is it. I feel like this video needed to be long though, because it is the ultimate list, the ultimate musical theatre / theatre bucket list for 2023. If you think I've missed any, and I probably have, let me know. I will, like I said at the beginning, continue to add to these lists, so if anything gets announced between now and the end of the year that I kind of think, ooh, that sounds good, it's going on the list, and we will see how many we can get through in this next year. But I'm so excited to take you on trips, show you new things, talk about lots of theatre, and yeah, I'm so excited. Thank you for watching, I love you all lots. Hope that you come on this extreme theatre journey over the next year. Let's do this. I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.